What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Subscriber died trying. You see the thumbnail. So crime dropped because of the pandemic. I think like the Spanish flu of what was it, 1918 or whatever it was. Crime dropped because people were more so in the house, indoors. Uh, Everybody's home, so you can't break and entering. Nobody's really going out, so you can't really stun on people to the point, or you can't really get into arguments and altercations and beefs with people, you know, but crime overall went down. In certain places, shootings went up, and people assume that, shootings and homicides went up because the streets is jumping in it. But not taking into consideration, you saw a lot more relationship homicide than anything when the pandemic really kicked off. So you got a lot of people who shot their significant other, you know, and a lot of women did that. You know, I should know. My cousin died last year like that, but we're not gonna get into that. Now, the thing about when people were protesting and defund the police, you can kind of look at it like this: you don't have to defund the police, really. Just don't go out. See, this pandemic has actually protested America in ways that rival with the civil rights movement, because a lot of small businesses shut down. You see, America has shown how much it leans to the conglomerate. So the things that were booming in this time was probably Walmart, Target, Amazon, grocery stores, gun manufacturers and ammunition manufacturers. So everything else was down. You're not seeing people buying cars and clothes and, guns and butter, baby. You're not seeing people buy butter, baby. If people don't know what butter is, clothes, cars, depreciating assets. Guns is appreciating assets, homes, artwork, things like that. Classic things. So now, getting back to defunding the police, you sucking, with a pandemic, you sucking the overtime out of the streets. You sucking the reason to patrol out of the streets. Thus, the two incidents with the young brother in Plano who got arrested for walking home, and then the other brother in California who got killed while he was jaywalking. And thus, you see how far these cops got to reach to mess with somebody. I got action, Jim. Like, yeah, we see. So, my opinion, I know, Texas is supposed to, all the businesses are supposed to be 100% and no mask and this, that, and the third. And I know people just waiting to hit the streets. And I know a lot of people have been hitting the streets anyways. To me, this has been like, if anybody's ever seen The Purge, when the trilogy went backwards to the first Purge, because they brought the Purge to the black community and thinking that we was going to kill each other, and all we did was party. So, because we was like, yeah, whatever, and white people had a backup plan to come in and kill us to make it look like the Purge was worth something. So they made it a racial thing, and when white people that figured it out found it, they killed them too because the Purge was going on to cover it up. So to me, this is kind of what that is, in the sense of you were hoping that, black people are gonna have all of this black on black crime, and it looks like black on black crime really dropped, because all crime dropped during the pandemic. Now, I talked recently about carjackings being on the rise. That happened. That happens in certain cities, but everything else, you're not seeing it like that. So overall, crime has dropped because of this pandemic, but it does put a significant dent in the ideology of black on black crime, because now you're like, wait a minute. Because the biggest criminal act we've had during the pandemic was actually storming the Capitol. That's what it is. So, and we've seen how that's getting treated with kid gloves. So, in an instant where you're supposed to have the time, the resources, and the lack of other crimes, and since crime has dropped, the lack of needing all this manpower to go fight this petty crime and that petty crime, you still don't want to really lock up all of these people. So now what? Because you can't hear the what about Chicago thing right now. You know, carjackings, yeah. That's pretty much the gist of it. Like I said, the homicides, that's really relationship violence at this point. And you've seen a lot of breakups in this whole pandemic anyway. So it's going to get interesting because when they open it up, let's see if crime just spikes immediately. Because if the crime just spikes quickly, somebody's going to come to the conclusion that these people didn't hold off of beef for a year and some change to just blow up in the streets because you're still in the same neighborhoods with the same people. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to think, you know what, there's a little police intervention that's ramping up this crime. So that's just my thoughts. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Peace.